Get ready to fasten your seatbelt, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to race. Ahead of race number 3, hello and welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship here at the legendary Nürburgring. It's the ADAC Truck Grand Prix. It's grid time, the grid walk, and as you can see, lots of people running around trying to get the best pictures. But please stay with us here on our live stream, then you will have the best pictures and all the insights needed. You know that the Goodyear FIA ETRC is committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2038, and they continue to expanding its position as leading platform in sustainable techniques also in the road transport system. So we're very glad to have a small glimpse at the future, and that could be better with Lena van der Maas, and she's having a guest today.
Yeah, and we are like standing right in the middle of everything, of all the action happening right before the race. And I'm not alone. Christian Sulzer, CEO of Iveco Germany, is with me. We were already very proudly and very happily exposing the new e-truck that has been built for a future race. And now we're standing in front of one of the trucks that is racing right now. So what does it mean for you to also talk about sustainability and future transportation?
Isn't it great to have the reveal on Thursday and now seeing the trucks on the streets? And now we need both. Now we need the new electric truck, we need the gas trucks, and we need the diesel. And the whole business is in transformation. So I think it's great to come from the racetrack also to the streets and having now biofuel also here in the trucks. And it's the first step in the transformation chain, no?
So you have a lot of fans, you have a lot of truck drivers around. What is the response of all the fans, maybe also talking to you for sure, who might be driving Iveco on the streets already?
They're all excited about the special models we are showing here on the stand, and for sure they are fans of Jochen Hahn and Steffi Halm, so our main drivers. Also Lukas now coming in the steps of his father, and when they saw when they are seeing here the new racetrack, the electric one of Jochen, that's amazing. They do so many photos, social media, and we have a great response there.
What does it mean to you personally, being around and being so close in touch with the truck racing itself?
I do this since 10 years here now for the marketing and the sales organization of Iveco Germany, and we really built the brand of Schwabentrag, the orange, and we are staying close to our customers. I think it's the only location where you meet the drivers, meet the customers, and have also the flexibility, liberty to speak to them now with in a friendly environment, and you get immediate feedback.
Yeah, immediately feedback is happening over here. You can tell it's really crowding up. There's so many people around. So we will prepare with the drivers, maybe more interviews happening over here in a second. Thank you so much for taking the time, Christian. Back to Chess, our man in the house when it comes to explaining all and everything and all the detail in the world when it comes to racing. Hi, Chess.
Hi, Lena. Thank you very much for the very kind introduction. Hello, everybody. Indeed, Chaz Draycott here up in the commentary box at the Nürburgring for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Jörg Hennig is on the German stream, and Fonsi Cebrian is on the Spanish stream if you wish to watch them as well. But we hope you are looking forward to this third race of the weekend just as much as we are. It's going to be a very, very busy time. Theo Calve even joining us on the grid there, actually, behind Norbert Kisch's truck. Those two having a discussion ahead of the race. Norby having a chat there with his chief engineer, Csaba Barco, as well. It's great to see Theo. He won the race earlier on today in the French Truck Racing Championship. There's Javier Martin as well from Goodyear. So plenty of great faces around the grid at the moment, right near the front with Norby. We've got our grid walk today as well, so a lot of fans and pundits from all over are taking place in this great gathering of people on the grid. Everyone having a solid look round and checking what all amazing manner of machines we have on our grid. You can see the official truck there and the pace truck at the very front of the field, though. The official truck, the Ford F-Max, and the Iveco S-Way, the pace truck, of course, which will lead them around for the first lap of the race, and then we'll get going at full pelt. It's Norbert Kisch and Sascha Lenz on the front row of the grid. And we're going to go a little bit further down the grid to speak to Jose Eduardo Rodriguez with Christina.
Yes, absolutely. We want to introduce you a brand new category. First time seen in Poland, the Goodyear FIA ETRC First Young Drivers Trophy, handed over to two contestants. And of course, José Eduardo Rodrigues is with me, one of the young drivers and also competing in this category. So que acha dessa nova competição? Que motiva os jovens pilotos talvez um dia serem campeões também?
Sim, eu penso que é uma mais-valia para a FIA, para o Campeonato da Europa ter esta categoria, para poder atrair mais jovens a juntarem-se a nós neste campeonato, e penso que será muito competitivo daqui para a frente se alinharem mais pessoas.
So you said this is a quite good idea from the FIA and from all the team of the ITRO, of course, so attracting more young drivers, and the competition is so very fierce and so good, and it's a huge motivation for young drivers to enter this competition also. So quanto se beneficia como jovem piloto neste paddock?
Como? Não percebi, desculpa.
Quanto tem o valor de trabalhar com este paddock?
Sim, é muito bom para mim, estou a gostar muito da experiência, é o meu primeiro ano completo aqui no Campeonato da Europa, e o importante é aprender com os mais velhos, experientes, e vamos fazer de tudo para conseguir tirar boas ilações para este ano.
So he says he's also, learning a lot from this experienced paddock. His first year as a full entry driver in this competition, also competing for the Young Drivers Trophy. And he says it's very good working with all the guys and getting experience, and of course he wants to involve. So get in the truck, get ready.
Vamos nos preparar, obrigado.
Vamos, obrigada. Und dann gehen wir jetzt mal rüber. We go walk to Lena. I think the connection is already there with our GoPro, and she's there with Lucas Hahn.
Lucas Hahn, the man himself, and I love to show race car drivers without a helmet on their head, because you are supposed to know what the guys are looking like, what Steffi is looking like, and mostly you know what the truck looks like. So this is Lucas, if you ever happen to meet him. And your dad has been racing for so many years. You were just stepping in for 3 races this year, and it feels like you would like to race more than only 3 races, because you're quite successful for now.
Yeah, but for the moment I will just drive 3 races, because you need a lot of things behind. You need a team, you need the sponsors, you need everything. And I think it's a good opportunity to learn and improve yourself, to be fast. And when I'm fast enough, maybe the change will come. We have a plan, but not yet.
But it doesn't look like you're too slow, because you're like always in the front. I've seen you on the podium quite often. You're not running behind. How many times are you talking to your dad after the races, maybe asking for more details or like maybe little tricks that you might learn from?
Yeah, normally we can talk a lot, but at the Nürburgring we have a really tough timetable, because a lot of visitors are here, also a lot of sponsors, and it's also great to see them here at the Nürburgring. And here it's not so much, maybe 10 minutes before the race, and normally we have enough time to speak about everything.
Yeah, we already hear they're whistling. You seem to be very relaxed, but I know it's time for you to finally get ready for the race. Good luck for this one. What's your aim? What's your aim for this race?
To win the Promoter Cup, and maybe to be on the reverse grid tomorrow at a good position, first or second row.
All right, so we will see you for now. We will see you tomorrow. Chess, back to you. Thank you for now.
Thank you, Lena. Always great to speak to Lucas Hahn. He's such a great young man and a very good driver as well. He's taken 2 overall race victories in the championship since his very first appearance. The first of which was here at the Nürburgring last year in race 2 of the weekend. It was a very emotional time as well. Of course, his very proud father, Jochen Hahn, was on site as well in the same race. It was a beautiful, beautiful scene. Very, very cool stuff. And this time round, he's obviously right in the thick of it as well. And everyone's really enjoying themselves here at the Nürburgring this weekend. But now it is go time for all the drivers. Everyone has to crack on with the job at hand. A big smile there from Jamie Anderson, and a thumbs up as well. The only right-hand drive truck in the field is Jamie Anderson. So it's very important for him to realise where the strengths and weaknesses of having that will be. I'm told that in just a few moments' time, we will be welcoming our TV viewers from all over the world. We're not just streaming to YouTube this year, but we're actually going to be on TV in many countries all over the world. So we are very grateful to have them all with us. And if you just bear with us, we'll take a quick pause. We'll have our graphics, and we'll be right back with you in a second.
Fasten your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. It's grid time here at the famous Nürburgring. Welcome to the ADAC Truck Grand Prix. Welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's the third race of round number 4 here at the legendary circuit of the Eifel. I'm here with Lina van der Vaas. My name is Christina Run. We welcome you around the world following us and following this championship. We're so hyped, aren't we?
Absolutely, and this race is about to start in a couple of minutes, to speak a minute more than less. So this is going to be a really good one, a fast one, and a racetrack that is known all over the world. So bear with us and have fun watching this race.
Yes, hello everybody.
And
Chaz Draycott here.
Hello and welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and hello and welcome to the legendary ADAC Truck Grand Prix with Lina van der Vaas. You will see her face absolutely in future and right now with us. And in the middle you see the managing director of the E-Truck, Georg Fuchs. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is the world first motorsport series that saves up to 90% carbon dioxide with 100% sustainable HVO diesel in all racing trucks. And there's yet more to come. The University of Aachen has a big presence also here. Battery electric Iveco, a battery and fuel cell powered Ford F-Max. We are here at the Innovation Camp. So much to see, isn't it?
Exactly. The Innovation Camp is really a possibility for the fans and for the spectators here at the event to see what's the future technology, what kind of sustainable technology can be implemented in the road haulage industry. So we really are able to showcase the technology from the road and which can be transferred to the racing or vice versa.
Why is it so important to test all the techniques also on the racetrack?
It is important because at the end, racing is always a testing bed for technology, and I think it's very easy to prove that the technology is working, and with racing we can do that very good.
And Lina, you had a great honor yesterday, wasn't it?
I had an amazing honor. Good morning from my side as well, of course, because talking technologies and future technologies, I was allowed to uncover or help uncover the very brand new e-truck that Jochen Hahn built with his team and many sponsors along. So the future has already been starting out. We are already talking biofuels, hydrogen fuels, e-fuels, but now there's a new e-generation coming, which is also new to you, I guess.
Absolutely. We are so delighted that Iveco and Team Hahn built this racetrack. It's real, it's visible, it's touchable. So it's not something theoretically, but it's really there. And actually we have been really amazed and surprised because literally 1 year ago, the FIA World Motorsport Council validated their regulation change, which allows for electric and hybrid trucks in our grid. And then we couldn't have imagined that Iveco and Jochen are literally presenting some e-racetrack here at the Truck Grand Prix 1 year later.
Yeah, they did an amazing job. I mean, the truck looks really stunning. If you did not happen to see already the uncovering, just click back into the Mediatek, because I think there are still videos around, or just go online to social media. You will find plenty about it. And we're still hoping also to be seeing some e-trucks racing in the future, aren't we?
We are, indeed. The time frame is not defined yet. Now we have the first prototype here, but it's real, it's working. So from that point of view, we have to see how everything is developing. There's a little bit more than just the truck itself. You know, you need to see about the infrastructure and so on. But together with our colleagues from FIA, we are literally working on that one. And let's see. And of course, it can and will be as exciting and as emotional as we have the racing today with the combustion engine.
Christina, Jochen has been smiling talking about the e-truck, but we also had some smiling boys and also, of course, Steffi, the only female driver in the field yesterday.
Absolutely. Everyone is smiling, though it's raining, but we don't mind. And also we do see the bio-LNG powered Iveco S-Way pace truck right now on track ahead of race number 1. So the future is coming right now to us. As you can see, the industry is very, very touchable. And as you say, how do you transport the emotions? Because maybe you think at home, I don't know, I'm not sure about it, but please check out this racing. Please watch it, because it's very amazing.
It is indeed. And actually, with the new technology, you have new possibilities. Like Jochen said, the acceleration will be just amazing with an e-truck. So it will be different to the existing one, but it will be as emotional, and we make sure that the racing, regardless what kind of technology, will be as fantastic and as fascinating as it has been in the past. And we even try to improve or to optimize in the future.
We absolutely do. Thank you very much, Georg Fuchs.
Thank you very much, Georg. Indeed. Thank you, Christina and Lena. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. My name is Chaz Draycott, the English commentator for this series. And I'm delighted to be here for my third season with the championship. And I'm also delighted to see on my screen right now the gorgeous Ford F-Max, one of two that we have in our paddock in this championship. And our partnership with Ford Trucks continues as strong as ever. Now, I've mentioned this in the past. A lot of you would have heard this before. But for those of you that don't know, the Ford F-Max itself was designed and tested by 500 Ford engineers over a 5-year period. I hope you like the number 5, because it was 5 million kilometers, 15,500 hours of lab testing as well. And they generated 233 prototype units to do all of that on-road testing as well. And that has resulted in this beautiful, user-friendly truck that moments from its debut became a very strong competitor in the market. We use it and have it here on the circuit, of course, to do the inspection, where it checks whether there's anything in terms of debris or any spillages or anything on the circuit that might have gone unseen, and obviously make sure that nothing negative will affect our race in a bad way. We have two examples, like I've said. We have the orange and black one that does all the circulations of the circuit, and then in the paddock itself, we have a gorgeous blue and white example as well to go with it. Here is the circuit we're on for this weekend. We are here at the amazing Nürburgring. It's great to be back for the International ADAC Truck Grand Prix, but we're on the shorter version of the circuit for this weekend. So rather than going down to the Dummlochkehre or the Michael Schumacher S, known as the Mullenbach-Schleife down that end of the circuit, we actually take the very tight hairpin at turn 5, then head left in towards Bilstein Curve, and then Ad Van Bogen up towards the slower of the two chicanes, the very tight chicane near the end of the lap, providing a massive challenge to our drivers this weekend. And the big curbs there have claimed some components from some of our trucks. They may be very tough and strong machines, but even with the toughness that they have, there's unfortunately been a couple of components broken by those big curbs. And just briefly as well, while the F-Max makes its way in, I wanted to give a quick shout out to apparently a big fan of mine, Jensen from Unity Recovery Service, who has sent a message in and said that he's not able to be here this weekend. But I really hope that Jensen enjoys the coverage as always, and hopefully we'll see him at a race again very, very soon. And also, I've had a message from Paul Horton, who's been doing all of the social media for Taylor's Truck Sport this weekend and for the rest of the season, actually. But Paul, unfortunately, unable to be here with us. He actually had a heart attack not long ago and is still recovering. But we wish you a speedy recovery, Paul, and hope that you continue to appear at our rounds in future. We certainly look forward to seeing you, mate, and it's fantastic to have the support. And obviously, these guys all embrace the championship so, so well. It's a one-truck family, as we always say, and they are two of the valuable members of said one-truck family. So there's your beautiful grid, everybody, with, of course, the beautiful Iveco S-Way at the front of the field. The Iveco will be leading us away in just a few moments' time, followed by Norbert Kisch and Sascha Lenz, a very powerful front row for this third race of the weekend in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Norbert Kisch set a time in qualifying of a 1:54.060. Sascha Lenz with a 1:55.061. So it was literally 1,000th of a second, over a second faster. We've got this wonderful drone shot here. I believe the drone is being flown by Lewis Vogler. Once again, the beautiful Lewis, as I call him, fantastic member of our team here at Viga Solutions, who provide all of the coverage and broadcasting for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Lewis has been sunning it up on the Gold Coast, shooting some incredible footage and videos with his friends and colleagues. But he has graced us with his presence for this round of the championship, and it's lovely to see him again, and obviously lovely to see his fantastic drone shots as ever. There is Stefan Faas and Louis Requenco together near the back row of the grid, although actually they're on row 6, sorry, not row 7 or 8. They are currently going to be starting this race in 11th and 12th position, ahead of Heinrich Clemens-Hecker, Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort and John Newell. But we will get onto the full grid in just a moment's time, as the Iveco S-Way, driven by Frank the Tank as we know him, is lovingly driven away from the grid. And this bio-LNG powered beast is a great example of what can be achieved with great sustainable fuels and sustainable methods going forward. The humongous bio-LNG tanks on the side of this truck, always a key identifier that it is one of the bio-LNG models and not the standard diesel models of Iveco S-Way. It's a fantastic specification of truck as well. The interior is glorious, and even the ride that this thing produces is wonderful. Frank knows how to drive that thing very, very quickly around a racetrack, let me tell you. I've had many a wild ride around circuits all over Europe with Frank, which I'm very grateful for. But at the same time, it's a comfortable ride while being a very fast one. You'll see even on these laps as well that he really does chuck it around. Doesn't look like he's got a passenger on this lap, which seems like a waste to me. You need to always have someone in the passenger seat to enjoy the ride. But as you see there on our beautiful graphic, it is a bio-LNG powered machine. It can reduce emissions up to around 90%, and it isn't really at the cost of any power or torque either. I think this Iveco S-Way is nearly 500 horsepower actually in its current spec, and still has a very similar amount of torque to a diesel model as well. And that's one of the best things about it as well, is that as a driver you very rarely notice any sort of difference between a usual diesel model and something with a different type of fuel. Norbert Kish, well, he's in a different type of race at the moment to everybody else. Amazing pace in qualifying puts him on pole position ahead of Sascha Lenz. And then the old boys on the second row of the grid, Antonio Albacete and Jochen Hahn. I finally saw Jochen earlier for the first time this weekend, even though we're 3 days in, and had a good chat with him just to check how he was doing. Steffi Halm next up in 5th place, and Jamie Anderson joining her on the 3rd row of the grid in 6th. Then we have Lucas Hahn in 7th position, head of the Promoters' Cup category, ahead of Andre Kurzim, starting in 8th position. Andre will definitely be hoping to move forward from there. 2 more Promoters' Cup drivers, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Mark Taylor, make up the top 10 mark, making it into the Super Pole session once again. Stefan Faas next up took a win in the Promoters' Cup earlier in the weekend. He'll be looking to repeat his success again. He starts alongside Louis Requenco. Heinrich Clemens-Hecker starts next up in 13th alongside Louis Requenco, as we saw before. And then we have John Newell starting at the back of the grid. Apologies, it was Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort actually alongside Heinrich Clemens-Hecker in the number 15 machine, a little bit further down the order. That is my mistake, everybody. You can see the gentleman there with the board, shaking his hips, doing a lovely little dance. I'm still not sure what that board says, actually. I think it may be just something to do with the starting procedure. Okay, then, let's get underway, shall we? Round 15 of the 2023 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship gets underway very, very suddenly. And look at all the jostling in the field already. Fantastic getaway by Sascha Lenz. That's exactly what he wanted. It's exactly what he did yesterday. And a big lock-up from Norbert Kish. He's actually feeling the pressure for once as Antonio Albacete's gone down the inside and crashed into the side of his teammate. Bounces off him. From 3rd on the grid does Antonio Albacete. Then down the inside goes Sascha Lenz. Bit more contact between the two of them. Elbows out as they go through the Mercedes arena. The rumble out of the window is absolutely incredible as Jose Eduardo Rodriguez runs wide onto the AstroTurf out of turn 2. But it's Norbert Kish from Sascha Lenz at the front. My voice is absolutely gone. Antonio Albacete and Jochen Hahn next up. Then it's Steffi Halm and Lucas Hahn, although Jamie Anderson, well, he nearly has to pay to get back in. He's gone that far out to the left-hand side of the circuit. Apparently the start is under investigation there. Stefan Faas down the inside of fellow black and red truck enthusiast Mark Taylor as Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort has had a spin. I think he bounced off the side of somebody else's truck. Oh, I think he's got a steering issue because it won't steer by the look of it. They've got a lot more lock available to them than that. Oh, it won't steer. That will not steer at all. Must have broken the steering in the contact as Mark Taylor runs wide out of the right-hander at Bilstein curve. Very busy first lap. They're 3 wide almost now with Stefan Fast in the middle. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez down the inside, taking absolutely 0 chances. Now it's very busy in the Promoters Cup. All 5 Promoters Cup drivers there fighting away. Lucas Hahn has gone on up the road. He'll be happy to know that these guys are battling behind. There's Jamie Anderson and Andre Kurzim over the curbs. Stefan Fast throwing it over the curbs as well. Very busy start to the race. One of the busiest that I've commentated on. Fantastic entertainment, though, all the same. As Jose Eduardo Rodriguez now back down the inside of Mark Taylor. There's nearly a bit of a touch. It was more of a rub than anything. Something complimentary to the right rear of that corner of the truck. But it's Norbert Kish leading after the end of the first lap. Sasha Lenz in second place. And then Antonio Albersetti with him. It was very argy-bargy in the first corner and really tough stuff. But they've managed to survive it and make it through. Steffi Halm still in 5th position where she started on the grid. Lucas Hahn has gone up from 7th into 6th, overtaking Jamie Anderson. I think there may have been a tiny bit of contact between the two of them as they went through the right-hander out of the Mercedes-Benz arena. But great battling all the same. Look, there's the 3 Ivecos together. Jochen Hahn, Steffi Halm, Lucas Hahn. And apparently number 15 has come to a stop elsewhere, which is Erwin Klein-Nagelvort. He was here, basically, where our camera is located now, but he's clearly got the truck moved and out of the way. I'm not quite sure where, though. It looks like he might have rolled backwards based on the marks that were left on the circuit there. That's a big, big shame for Erwin. He scored his first championship point in the last race. But now, I'm afraid, the race has not gone to plan. Andre Kurzim actually making it 4 Ivecos in a row there behind Lucas Hahn. He's now moved ahead of Jamie Anderson in the first sector. I'm not sure if Jamie's had some sort of knock or some damage or something. There's a little bit of a move there further down the order. Zach Heinrich Clementecker trying to overtake John Newell. It is. You can see them just in the background. Clementecker has to just settle in behind. But Norbert Kish once again leading what would be the first race of the day, but it's actually the second race of the day. Race 3 of the weekend. Usually on a Sunday morning. There's some bodywork there, actually. Has that come off Sasha Lenz's truck or something? It looks slightly purple. It's definitely purple. Or is it actually? Is it off Jose Eduardo Rodriguez's truck? Looks like it's the front corner of one of the MANs, actually. Hopefully nobody making contact with that bodywork, as Mark Taylor nearly does. Diving out of the way as Jochen Hahn still ahead of Steffi Halm. I wonder if Jochen's had a bit of contact in the opening lap and can't quite get the pace down. We'll have to see. Another beautiful drone shot here, though. Look at that, looking over the Mercedes arena. Looks stunning, doesn't it? The conditions are very interesting right now, actually, because it's rather warm outside, but it's very muggy and very cloudy. So, I mean, we could get any rain at any point because there's all manner of different types of clouds around. Some of them are really dark clouds, and then there's breaks in it where there's just complete sunshine coming through. So once again, the typical Eifel region weather, very unpredictable. You never know, it could snow in a minute. It's certainly Norbert Kish at the front of the field, come rain, come shine. As there, in 3rd position, is Antonio Albersetti in the number 23 T-Sport Burnout MAN. And there, Lucas Hahn in truck number 22, just ahead of Andre Kurzim. And there, another fantastic drone shot as they head down towards the back straight through the right-hand kink at 160 kilometers an hour, all while being powered by 100% renewable HVO diesel. As we've touched on this weekend, there is minimal, almost no black smoke at all from these machines in the way that they are tuned and, of course, fed this HVO diesel. There is no usual diesel smell from it either. And this fantastically sustainable fuel has reduced emissions in the championship by over 90% and is part of the championship's commitment to reach carbon neutrality, if that's even a word. I think I've made that one up, by 2038 at the latest. And that includes all the logistics involved in the championship as well, getting to and from race meetings and travelling all over Europe to go racing as we do. It's a beautiful cause and something that the championship is very strongly committed to doing. But Norbert Kish flying at the moment. doing everything he can do. I think with the contact he's had, actually, just looking at the right-hand side of the truck there as it came through the exit of the Mercedes arena, I think one of the fins on the back of the cab has actually come off. Yeah, it's not even been bent in, but if you look at the number board on the right-hand side of his truck, the whole panel has come off. Just look on the right-hand side here. You can see usually there's a big number board with the number 1 on it, but that entire panel's just come away. He did get hit in the right-hand side, actually, by Antonio Albersetti. But obviously, these aerodynamic parts don't affect these trucks too much. It's very minimal, the effect they have, based on the size of them and the forces that they go through. Putting wings and little curves and splits on them can make a difference in time, but not a humongous amount. See the 4 Ivecos in a line together with all identical bodywork at the front, looking very pretty. A lot of the time the teams just change things like the initial cutouts where the headlights are often found on these trucks. Just in front of the wheels, it's almost like where the truck breathes, and then you've got obviously the grills as well along the middle. You'll see a different design on most people's trucks there. So obviously not allow any foreign debris in or anything like that, but they will want as much cool air as they can. And if you actually look at a truck like, I've noticed it mostly on Norbert Kisch's truck, but if you look at it directly from in front, you can also almost see completely through the thing and into the background behind it. So if we do get a shot of it, try and have a look over the course of the weekend, as a bit of bodywork is still definitely there. And yes, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez does not have a big chunk of his bonnet still attached, or his front bumper, I should say. So we look down again on the Mercedes arena. You can see that it is quite a slick surface right now. It's not exactly the most dry, as Steffi Halm has had a lap time deleted, apparently. I'm not sure if she got the fastest lap of the race or something. And Jamie Anderson also having a lap time deleted for track limits in turn 10. So they're clearly cutting it somewhere. Not heard anything since about the start being under investigation. Maybe somebody was either out of place, or maybe it was down to the contact at the first corner. But at the moment, there's a bit of a stalemate on circuit. Everybody just trying to stay in a rhythm, put as much pace down as they can, put their cards on the table. Jamie Anderson is pushing on, trying to catch up with Andre Kurzim, who's moved up from 8th on the grid into 7th place. Jamie has actually dropped down 2 places from where he started. Actually, I think he might have qualified in 5th position, did he not? No, I think he was 6th alongside Steffi Halm. Yes, he was. So he's dropped down 2 places from 6th to 8th. You can see the bodywork there flapping around on Antonio Albersetti's truck as well. Jochen Hahn pushing very far out wide out of the final corner and using all of the road. Just tapping the gravel slightly and kicking up some dust. There's almost active aero on Antonio's truck, isn't it, at the front? They did well, actually, all of them, to sort of survive that opening exchange, because the contact could have been much heavier and the damage could have been a lot more severe. So they've all done really well to get away with it, I'd say. Nobody seems to be struggling with pace or anything, or struggling with the behaviour of their truck. Looking at the times at the moment, it's Norbert Kisch that is definitely the pace setter. He's done a 1:56.054 last time round. And when you look as low down as 5th position down, everybody else is doing 57s, mid 57s actually, to sort of 57.7s, 57.9s. So Norby's nearly 2 seconds a lap quicker than a bunch of the field. Although actually, no, looking at it, Sascha Lenz was a few thousandths of a second quicker than Norby on the previous lap. So Norby did a 1:56.054, as mentioned, but Sascha went 14 thousandths of a second quicker, a 1:56.040. Fastest lap of the race, though, is by Norbert Kisch, and it's a 1:54.515. That's insane pace, because nobody else at all in the field has broken into the 1:55s, although no, Sascha Lenz has. He's done it once, 1:55.902. So Norby's fastest lap, which is the fastest lap of the race, is 1.4 seconds quicker than the next fastest lap set by anybody so far. Let's see what he does this time. Still coming up as a 1:56.050, so almost identical lap times by Norbert Kiss. He opens up 2 more tenths of a second over Sascha Lenz, who does almost identical times to Antonio Albacete. They were 0.003 of a second different that time round. Jochen Hahn does a 1:57.1. He was actually 0.9 of a second slower than Antonio on that lap. So like I say, I'm not sure if Jochen's got some sort of problem. Louis Requenco has apparently gone into the paddock, which is a big shame. The Requenco having an issue. Number 64, Iveco. He also got a black and white flag for turn 6 on the previous lap. And number 81, which is Mark Taylor, got a black and white flag as well for track limits on the previous encounter. It's easy to do there around here because it is quite a narrow circuit in places. I mean, when you look at the trucks there, as they come out of the hairpin into the left-right section down towards Bilstein, it's not easy. Especially with machines this big as well. Making that transition from one side of the circuit to the other just to get nice and hard on the brakes. It doesn't take very long to cross the circuit at all. You've not got long to think about it as a driver. We look here at Sascha Lenz. I was in the paddock earlier, actually. And Sascha was on media duties with some of the guests of the team. And their usual array of 1,000,001 hats that the team give out. We've got a fantastic amount of memorabilia and kit, let's say. A lot of branded stuff. Never in short supply, that's for sure. But it's Norbert Kish, Sascha Lenz, Antonio Albacete, Jochen Hahn, Steffi Halm, Lucas Hahn, Andre Kurzim, Jamie Anderson, Mark Taylor, well, for now. And then Jose Eduardo Rodriguez inside the top 10 as they lean on each other slightly. As Jose Eduardo runs Mark out of room on the exit of the final corner. That was almost similar to what happened in Slovakia Ring, actually, when he ran John Newell out of road, out of one of the hairpins. Just trying his best to get the truck to behave on the inside line, runs wide into his opponent. That won't go down well with Mark, I can tell you that for free. He's going to want to get him back there. He's gone deep into turn 1. Mark tries to get the cut back on him. You can see all the steam coming off that front left wheel as the water jets cool the brakes down. And then again, as he leans the other way, tries to get another cut back on him out of the Mercedes arena. Easier said than done, though, isn't it? And Jose Eduardo moves up into second position in the Promoters' Cup category for this race. And with that bodywork missing, it's clearly not having too much of a negative effect. Stefan Fass is waiting in the wings there for these guys to trip over one another, I'm sure. It's not quite on for a podium at the moment. Although he's been on both of the Promoters' Cup podiums so far this weekend, has Stefan Fass. Finishing second and then first. There was somebody really shredding the tyres there as they went through the left-hander. Not quite sure which of our guys on screen that it was. Might have even been somebody in the background or a different part of the circuit. A lot of the microphones do pick up a humongous range of different bits of the circuit. Steffi Hallman, Lucas Hahn and Andre Kurzim going through the shot, then Jamie Anderson, then this trio that we keep our eye on, battling all the way up to the hairpin. It's been a fantastic start to the season for Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Once we finish this race meeting, by the way, once the 16th race of the championship is complete, that is the halfway point of the season. And we have 4 more race meetings coming up after that. Because, in terms of the calendar, on the 26th and 27th of August, so over a month away, we'll be heading to Most, but then we have a very, very busy time of it because we are then going to Zolder just 2 weeks later on the 9th and 10th of September. Then on the 23rd and 24th of September, just 2 weeks later, we head to Le Mans in France. And then a week after that, back to back, we then go to Jarama near Madrid in Spain. for the finale of the championship. I'm delighted to say that I'll be on site for Le Mans and Jarama, two of the finest race meetings of the season. But this is the big one, isn't it? The Nürburgring, the International ADAC Truck Grand Prix. It's fantastic to be centre stage for such a huge event like this, with so many great racing clubs and organisers coming together all in one to celebrate everything truck related. We've got investigation going on between trucks 38 and 81, which is obviously Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Mark Taylor. A little bit of contact out of the final corner just being looked at now by the stewards, by the FIA, just to check whether they think Jose Eduardo was out of order, whether he gained much from it, to be fair. I mean, he was alongside with Mark when they came out of the corner. You could argue that Mark would have got a good run out of the corner if they wouldn't have made contact. We'd have to see what the argument is from Jose Eduardo Rodriguez's side as well. Obviously, he may have just been trying his hardest to not have the truck understeer wide. But at the end of the day, it's hard racing. Sasha Lenz there with the right rear mudguard, let's say, just flapping around. And then Antonio Albertetti's MAN waving to the crowd as he makes his way down the start-finish straight into the braking zone. And then Jochen Hahn in 4th place. Still there or thereabouts, actually. He's not dropped off too much as Jochen. He's only a few seconds behind Antonio. But this would be good for Antonio's overall statistics, because so far this weekend, Jochen Hahn and Antonio have been on the same podium in race 1 on Friday. But neither of them were on the podium for race 2 earlier on today. So they've remained even, because the reason I mention this is because in overall statistics, Jochen Hahn has 281 podiums and Antonio Albertetti holds the current record on 286. So if Antonio finishes where he is now, he'll extend a little lead over Jochen by an extra podium finish and have 287 to Jochen's 281. But after all this time, only having, a few podiums between them, it's just incredible, isn't it? Such a pair of successful drivers. 280 podiums is just a crazy number, isn't it? Apparently, Louis Requenco had steering issues. Not sure whether that's caused by hitting some of the curbs a little bit too hard. Like I said before, easily done. I've been informed by Franz Stahlberg of that one, so thank you very much to Franz. He was showing me, actually, the component that failed on Jose Eduardo Rodriguez's truck yesterday, and you can literally fit it in the palm of your hand. It's to do with the steering rack and having a steering adapter on it. And a little bit of contact can cause it to snap. And from that point on, he had no steering, so he had to just gently pull over to the side of the circuit where he possibly could anyway, because the truck was already going in a straight line. He just had to slow it down, make sure he didn't hit anything. But it's amazing that with the size of these machines and how tough and brutish they can be, that a component that would fit in the palm of your hand can cause the entire thing to just not function as intended. Sasha Lenz is functioning as intended at the moment, though. He came here to collect valuable championship points for his season. He was second in the second race of the weekend just earlier today. He was just outside of a podium position in the races before that. In the first race of the weekend, he finished in 4th place. Had contact in the early stages with Jamie Anderson, with his teammate. But since then, he's been driving brilliantly. Had a very strong qualifying session earlier in 2nd place. A very busy start as well. And he got quite lucky, actually, at the start, didn't he, Sasha? Because he was the one on the outside of all of the action. And it could very easily have all just caught up with him if somebody had gone a little bit too hot down the inside and then been pushed wide into him. But luckily for him, that's just me making a conspiracy or theorizing, let's say. As the top 4 are now nicely spread out, really. It's 7 seconds back from Norbert Kisch to Sasha Lenz. And Sasha has got a good 3 seconds over Antonio Albertetti, who's then got 3 seconds over Jochen Hahn. Nearly 4 seconds now, actually. Actually, it's pretty much 4 seconds, isn't it? And then behind them, Steffi Halm is a good 7 seconds back. Lucas Hahn leading the Promoters' Cup. He's on to try and take his second race win of the category this weekend. It would be his 5th win in the Promoters' Cup this season, and his 7th appearance on the podium. We're on to the final lap already. The sun is shining here at the Nürburgring. It's 6:15, nearly 6:20 local time. According to the thermometer on my phone, it's 36 degrees. I can tell you it's definitely not 36 degrees. It may be hot here at the Nürburgring today, but it is definitely not that hot. Maybe it's the fact that my phone's been sat in the sun. I'm not sure. Still, the race continues for one final lap, and Mark Taylor needs to try and stay ahead of Stefan Faas and keep him at bay. The German looking down the inside in the Tank Pool 24 Scania. Nothing comes of it in the opening few corners. You can see a very different line there taken through turn 2. We often do see drivers take a wide line on the way into that corner just to get a really quick run out of it as well. And there you go, just in time. The FIA and the stewards in race control have decided that the start was absolutely fine. There is no further action to be taken, no penalties to be given, no punishments handed out. And this man will be happy with that, Norbert Kisch, because he ended up getting a 10-second overspeeding penalty in race 2. He's won every race so far this weekend, and it's been a long time since anybody's done the Grand Slam, at least before this season, because at the Slovakia ring, Norby was the one to beat, winning all 4 races. And here at the Nürburgring, he's putting on one hell of a show yet again. Round the final corner he goes. And round 15 of the 2023 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship goes the way of Norbert Kisch and Reveish Racing, taking his 11th race win of the championship out of 15 races. Unbelievable stuff. Very well done to Norby. Second place going to Sascha Lenz. A great result for the SL Truck Sport 30 team, the Apollo Tyres Motorsport team as well. Antonio Albertati finishing 3rd, so he does get that podium. Very well done to Antonio. And there, across the line, goes Lucas Hahn, who takes the win in the Promoters' Cup category. He's going to finish ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. And then Mark Taylor getting another podium in their category. Very well done to him. You can hear some drifting going on. Somebody is absolutely shredding some tyres somewhere. Pretty sure it's going to be this man, Norbert Kisch. He's very good at that. Jochen Hahn loves the crowd here as well, so he's usually one to light up the tyres, especially around the Mercedes arena. The long sweeping corners are very useful for drifting. They're exactly what you want for a bit of drifting as well, a long corner like that. But a very good race, that. A very good race to end the day's action here at the Nürburgring. A lot of the fans here will be enjoying the go and stop competition, which will start at 7. There you go. There's Jochen Hahn doing what he does. With fantastic drifting. You can hear the round of applause in the background. Lucas Hahn getting in on it as well. Look at that. Fantastic stuff as they come through the shot. Sascha Lenz also throwing the chuck around. I did wonder where Sascha had gone because Antonio was right behind Norby. That explains it. He was busy entertaining the crowd and doing some drifting. So we'll get all the drivers back into the pit lane. They'll celebrate with their teams. And then what we'll have, I hope, because it's been one of my favourite additions to this weekend, due to the circumstances of where the podium presentation takes place and where the drivers and everybody come back into the pit lane, we've been doing a quick run over to the podium in a cab, in a taxi, basically, and just getting a ride in one of the media shuttles. We've actually had Christina in there with the drivers, all talking to one another as well. It's almost like a podcast. It's great fun. Really is great fun. I'd like to somehow try and find an excuse to do that at every round of the series where we get to hear what the drivers are thinking. I know a lot of people that watch Formula One enjoy the fact that because Max Verstappen seems to win every week, he has different drivers appear on what's known as his podcast now because it's in the green room after the race. We've got our own version now in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and I am absolutely here for it, honestly. If you haven't seen it in any of our other streams over today and yesterday, then you're going to really enjoy this, especially if Norby's in there with Sascha and with Antonio as well. But here comes Norby. another race victory. Like I said, that's his 11th win of the season, with 12th appearance on the podium in 15 races. Can anybody stop Norby? Certainly the dominant force at the moment. And the thing is as well is that they all do it. They do this job so well and so respectfully to Norby and Reveish Racing. Everybody really does respect how fast they are and appreciate the pace and the hard work that goes into what they do. They are such a fantastic squad, and Norby is such an accomplished driver, very talented lad. And it looks like, at the moment anyway, he is on his way to a 5th title, which would be his 3rd on the bounce. He would do the hat-trick. He would be one of only 2 drivers to ever do that. Jochen Hahn doing it in 2011, 12 and 13. Norby then actually did it in 2014 and 15, with only Jochen stopping him in 2016. Adam Lachko won the championship in 2017, and then Jochen did it in 18 and 19. There wasn't a championship in 2020, and then Norbert Kish has won it for the last 2 years. Let's not forget as well, Antonio Albertetti won the championship in 2005, 6 and 10. 3-time champion himself. There he is on the right-hand side of shot. There is the strapping young man. Antonio is such a great character to have around the paddock. And in case you can't tell, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, I have to say. It was an amazing experience to go around the circuit with Antonio on Thursday, and I will never forget it. I really will not. Norbert Kish won't forget that race either. A really, really solid run to the front. And he takes another race victory in the 2023 season with Sascha Lenz, another great second place and important championship points to try and continue that battle with Antonio Albertetti, who finishes 3rd right behind him. Jochen Hahn finishes in 4th with Steffi Halm in 5th position. Lucas Hahn is next up in 6th place, winning the Promoters Cup ahead of Andre Kurzim in 7th. Then 8th place, Jamie Anderson, doing a wonderful job ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez in 9th. And he and Mark Taylor complete the top 10 and obviously complete the Promoters Cup podium. Stefan Faas was next up ahead of Heinrich Clemens Hecker with John Newell in 13th. And unfortunately, from that race, we lost Louis Requenco and Erwin Klein-Nagelvort. And Norby there explaining what happened down at turn 1, because Sascha was on the outside of him and he locked up the front left and then obviously went straight on. And he's saying it's, they're just saying it's absolutely fine and it's part of racing. But it's great to see those discussions between the drivers. And look, even this as well, Sascha congratulating all the Reveish team as well. It's such a friendly place. I mean, I go on and on and on about it because I cannot emphasize it enough to you all. It is such a fantastic paddock. And even there, look, Sascha congratulating the T-Sport Bernau team. It's a brilliant place to be. Really is. And even in my vlog over the course of the weekend, I think I've got fed up of myself mentioning it, but you can't help it because it's such an overwhelming positive vibe, man. It really is. It really is. And enjoying the positive vibes down there is Christina, who's going to speak to Sascha Lenz.
Absolutely positive vibes, cheering up with everybody, but you seem to have a little problem finding your second space here.
Yeah, but it's fine, it's my home circuit. I'm really happy we stand the second time now on the podium for today. And I'm really happy.
Absolutely, and guess what? Second time on podium today, 3rd time overall at Nürburgring. When was the last time that happened for you?
I don't know. I think was not before. Yeah.
Absolutely, first time. Congratulations.
First time, yeah. And I'm really happy. For my sponsors, all sponsors in here. I'm really happy, and my team make a really, really good job. The truck is every time on the perfect, and I can drive to 100% with the truck, and I know I have a no DNF, and yeah, it's really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, and we're going to the bus together. Please stay with me, guys. I want to show you something, because we're going to Antonio Albertetti's truck, first of all, as we enter. And as you can see, windscreen here is broken, and you've seen it, the bodywork, and he was waving all around. But we tried to wave and get into the podcast bus with all the drivers. So, in Germany we say Schnick, Schnack, Schnuck.
Norby! Fucking hell here. Oh, no.
We're still live, guys. This is the podcast, so it's right now pep talk time in between you guys. Now the crucial details will come to the air, of course. So, Antonio, you're sitting there in the back. I tried to get and reach to you out because I've seen the windscreen broken, and you've been waving constantly throughout the fence because the bodywork was waving and flapping hands constantly. Yeah. Did you notice that?
No. I mean, on the start, I was in the inside. Norby was a little bit wide, and I just have no space. And then he comes quickly to the inside, and we have a contact. But I have no place to go. I thought, oh, maybe I can go in first place at least for the first lap, you know, until he comes. But no, it was no possible. So no, but happy with this third place, and they were very, very fast. So maybe I couldn't fight with.
Come on!
I was in front, maybe. But anyway, it was good. Third place, it was good. Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. How did you see the contact?
Oh yeah, well, you know, it wasn't my brightest moment and wasn't the best start or first turn that I made ever in my life. You know, it's I locked up. You know, it was a little bit strange. I will have to go look at the video and the data, especially. That what did I possibly do wrong? Because for sure.
It was a little bit nervous,
it was
No,
not nervous. Actually it felt very confident, you know, but you know, not good, but still not good, you know. So it's very strange. I locked up the front left, and then, you know, I just try to save it. I try to not to hit Sasha, but I also try to make the turn and you know, just somehow save it, you know, to avoid a bigger crash. And then Antonio was on the right side, and then was the contact from there, but okay. Then I was already concentrating on accelerating out to turn 2, and then, you know, I see I was fine in first place, but, you know, not happy with this moment, you know, because it's not it wasn't optimal, you know.
How many times he was in front? How many seconds?
In the end?
Yeah.
Oh, not sure, 5-ish.
Maybe then better you become a 10-second penalty.
Well, you know, it's good. I don't feel like I did anything that would deserve a penalty, but it was a mistake, but I think no penalty.
No, for sure, no.
Okay, we keep it that way. We open the door, guys, and we will show you right now the highlights, Chaz, and we will have a closer look at incidents at round and turn number 1.
I'm not sure if you could hear me laughing through all of that, but honestly, it's so entertaining. We really need to try and make that a permanent fixture. Interviews with drivers when the others can chip in and start a conversation is just a great thing to have. What a fantastic final race of the day here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Obviously, with our very different schedule, it means that we've still got one more tomorrow as well, but with more optimal conditions than race 2, let's say. It was, of course, Norbert Kish and Sasha Lenz on the front row. A big lock-up from Norby and a lot of argy-bargy into the first corner. Certainly shuffled the field around a bit. Unfortunately, Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort was a little bit too shuffled out of the order and would retire from the race in the early stages. But the busiest start we've seen in a while was certainly entertainment. And then we had drivers battling all the way through. It spread out a little bit in the middle of the race as everybody got into a rhythm. But soon everyone was pushing on again, knowing that they didn't have many laps left to get the job done. And it was great stuff to watch as always. Norbert Kish led the way from Sasha Lenz and Antonio Albacete, but the battles were rife in the Promoters' Cup further down. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez getting past Mark Taylor in boisterous style, while Stefan Faas watched in the background. It would eventually be Lucas Hahn that won the Promoters' Cup though, finishing 6th place overall, as he was just behind Steffi Halm, who completed the top 5. But once more, Norbert Kish did the job, a fantastic one at that, and Sasha Lenz very happy with 2nd place, Antonio Albacete happy with another podium as well. And now we head down towards the podium, which will take place, and we'll have, of course, our overall top 3, and then the Promoters' Cup top 3 as well, in reverse order, with Antonio Albacete being the first called up. He will be the first one to appear on the right-hand side of the podium. And here we go. The announcer just off to the left of the stage will bring them all up. And now that it's the end of the day as well, you can expect quite a bit of champagne spraying as well.
Finish 2nd here at the German Grand Prix, that's Sasha Lenz.
And Sasha Lenz will get a big cheer for finishing 2nd.
Hungary, that's Nobby Kish.
And Norbert Kish taking the overall victory once more. He's got a lot of fans all over Europe as Norby. The Hungarian fans are very passionate. And Norby gives them a lot of great results to be proud of. Antonio, with a big smile, points to the team. A big thank you to all involved. Sasha Lenz, second place, also showing great respect to his team too. And as mentioned by the announcer there, the biggest trophy to Norbert Kish. More silverware for the cabinet for Norby. That being now his 90th career race victory. Amazing stuff. And here's the national anthem of Hungary for Norbert Kish.
This is the podium, race 3.
And there you go, the overall podium for race 3 of the weekend here at the Nürburgring at the International ADAC Truck Grand Prix.
Please present your trophies.
And round 15 of the season. The next one will signify the halfway point of the season. 32 races all in all, with 8 race meetings. And this the 4th of them. Certainly the biggest of the calendar. It's definitely a peak in the middle. And the guys changing their caps now for more pictures. And then it'll be time for some champagne.
More photos. And I think then it's time for you to hear the sign. Champagne!
I think you're going to see a lot of people run in the opposite direction in just a second as they open the champagne bottles. Norby soaks just about everyone in the crowd. Sasha's going to get Norby though, look. Of course. You can see it. The look in his eye, man. You can see it. He's such a fun guy. He's Sasha Lenz. He's a real troublemaker. Really is. Oh, there you go. Excellent scenes up on the podium. Again, just positive vibes. Really positive vibes. Here's the championship standings, and it's very positive vibes for Norbert Kish. Look at that. 200 points. A lovely round number for the Hungarian. Puts him 55 points clear of Jochen Hahn. And let me just tell you, 2 entire race meetings of points in terms of overall victories. Maximum points is 60 from a race meeting. So Norbert Kish is, 60 for 2 race meetings, that is. Norby's nearly 2 entire race meetings clear ahead of Jochen Hahn and Sasha Lenz, who now moves 6 points ahead of Antonio Alberthetti in the championship. Andre Kurzim's having a good season, up there in 5th place ahead of Steffi Halm, with Jamie Anderson currently up there in 7th ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez by 9 points. 7 points back to Stefan Fass, with Lucas Hahn closing down on him actually inside the top 10. Then it's Mark Taylor on 21 points, now 6 clear of his countryman John Newell. Jonathan Andre next up in 13th is still tied with Heinrich Clemens-Hecker and Louis Requenco, with Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort on just the 1 point after yesterday's race. Now we move on to the Promoters' Cup podium. There is the trophy from Sasha Lenz for 2nd place in that race, being well looked after.
Please welcome.
And here we go then. The top 3 in the Promoters' Cup category will be started by Mark Taylor, who takes his first podium of the weekend, which he'll be over the moon about. That's his 6th podium in the category for the season. Second place going the way of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. That being, let me just check, his 13th podium this season. A handshake between the two of them. And then the winner in the Promoters' Cup, once again, Lucas Hahn.
Mr. Rudi Speich. The trophy.
And the trophy's handed out. Mark Taylor gets 3rd position. Very pretty trophies this week, I must say. Very, very pretty trophies. It's one of the best things about the championship as well, is that the trophies are different at every round of the season. It's not just one sort of set, fixed template of trophy. as Lucas Hahn raises that trophy skyward. I think if you asked Lucas to throw it hard enough, he could probably hit the moon with it. I imagine he's got a hell of an arm on him, Lucas. He is built like a very concrete building. Anyway, time for a national anthem.
This is the podium from the Promoters Cup. Lucas Hahn, the winner.
And there you go, Promoters Cup top 3. Mark Taylor 3rd, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez 2nd, and Lucas Hahn, the winner. And they will now pose on the top step together for some pictures.
Present your trophies and let us take some photos.
I realise that a very concrete building is not a great description. There are words that we'd use to, in the UK especially, to describe how Lucas Hahn is built, but they are not broadcastable, but I'm sure you all know what I mean. And now, champagne time for these guys to celebrate their podium result. I was hoping that Lucas Hahn would get a drenching there, but it seems like these guys just want to soak the media and everyone around as they all go scattering. And a well-deserved swig of champagne, that for Lucas Hahn. That's his 3rd appearance on the podium this weekend. And he's only gone 1st and 2nd all weekend as well. He's not had a 3rd place appearance yet. And oh, would you look at that? You know what they're setting up for down there? I'm going to be down at the start-finish straight for Go and Stop like a flash after this. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez then on 178 points leads the Promoters Cup standings after the Nürburgring, or after the 3rd race of the Nürburgring anyway. Stefan Fast next up on 157. Mark Taylor 30 points behind him in 3rd. He's now 22 clear of John Newell, with Lucas Hahn just 1 behind. Louis Requenco is in 6th place ahead of Heinrich Clemens Hecker, with Jonathan Andre in 8th and Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort on 17 points in 9th in the standings. But yes, Go and Stop being prepared down there on the start-finish straight. There's always a lovely crowd for it by Norbrems, as you can see their branding in the background. Looking forward to seeing how that works out as well, because it's the race trucks that are taking part in Go and Stop today instead of the usual road-going trucks, which were doing it yesterday. So they've got the 2 separate competitions. The race trucks, obviously, their braking capabilities as best they can. And we're going to hand it back down to the ladies down there in the paddock.
Represent T-Sport.
Waiting for Lucas Hahn, and I'm here with José Rodrigues. Parabéns. Outro pódio, outra categoria. Estávamos a falar sobre a experiência de competir aqui no Nürburgring. Como aconteceu a corrida agora?
Foi uma corrida de trás para a frente, perdi um lugar, recuperei. Foi uma corrida sempre na luta e o importante é o ritmo que estamos a adquirir para amanhã tentar obter um lugar melhor.
So he said he was constantly in the battle for his position, which was very interesting. And so he said, yes, he's gaining more and more experience. And tomorrow morning, they're going to start a new race. And of course, he's trying to, yes, evolve and is getting into this process. So estávamos a falar sobre a atmosfera aqui, sobre os adeptos.
Sim, aqui na Nürburgring tem sempre muita gente, muitos adeptos, muitos apoiantes. E é sempre importante para o desporto automóvel e para a família FIA Truck Racing sempre.
So we're talking about the fans, and of course he's enjoying it, as you can see and hear. The fans are cheering up, and this is also good for the young drivers to see how much and how many support do they get. Thank you very much, Fred. Obrigada.
Obrigado, thank you.
So, Lina, wir warten jetzt auf Lucas Hahn. We're waiting for Lucas Hahn, and he's already there.
Yes, finally, very nice. Quickly taken over. I know there's more stuff waiting for you, so we're going to make this very quickly. Before the race, after the race, I guess you're very happy.
Yeah, I'm very happy. That was what I was thinking before. Yeah, to be first at Promoter Cup, and yeah, it was a really good race, good pace also, and yeah, no, at the end I'm really happy, and yeah, tomorrow we are at the 2nd row, and then let's race again.
So whatever he told me before the race fulfilled, so whatever your plan was fulfilled. You just told me that it's also always about having more sponsors and having the attention for doing a good job. So I think so far you've done a good job, so maybe next year we'll see you in a full episode of race.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I'm looking forward to do it, and yeah.
So now we can focus on tomorrow because there's another race waiting. We will swap from whatever qualifying was beforehand. This is why you're starting out elsewhere than you did beforehand. So maybe fortunate for you again.
Yeah, hopefully, fortunately for me again. Yeah, that's true.
All right, so Chaz, this is a smiling guy. Back to you for a second. He has to run and collect more trophies, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure there will be many a trophy still to come for Lucas Hahn, a very talented young man, and of course trying to follow in his father's footsteps as well. The great Jochen Hahn with 6 championship titles, 116 race wins over just under 660 starts. But what we're going to do now, or at least what I'm going to do now, is say goodbye for today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I've been Chaz Draycott for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and I'll hand back down to the ladies for one more final word. I'll speak to you again tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Chaz. It's the smell of champagne. And the floor is absolutely sticky, guys, because of the champagne. Also, the GT Masters, they celebrated also. But our guys are celebrating better, I think.
I think they celebrate much better. We saw beforehand how they're like giving each other some showers, and the smell is absolutely fantastic. So I hope for more about that tomorrow and for more amazing racing to come.
Yeah, Saturday evening, meaning the legendary fireworks is going to be taking place here. We will provide you with all the fantastic images tomorrow of the Nürburgring. You're going to be there talking to the fans. Lots of action already ahead of us tomorrow, Sunday. Last race of this fabulous weekend here at the ADAC Truck Grand Prix. And we try to get our feet out of the champagne right now.
It's better to drink some than to stand on it, right? Yeah. See you later.
See you.